My daily tip for you today is creating good habits in your personal life can work for business too. Who knew? Well, it is me. It is, or I am, John Butt. This is the Marketing for Owners podcast. Yes, that one. The one I hope you are subscribing to and getting every day, because it's Monday and Tuesday, short ones. Wednesday is the expert interview series. Thursday is a short one. And Friday is the ones to watch interview series. Pretty good, eh? Nice little variation, keeps you busy. So, habits. Habits are a good thing as long as they're not bad habits. Obviously, most habits are bad, probably, but creating habits is something I've worked on a lot, and a lot of people I know try and develop, especially for work. So they're quite often used at home, and we try to think, how can we use them at work? So think of things in your personal life. So a habit, something you do regularly and you do automatically without thinking about it. So there's hopefully brushing your teeth. Yeah. Going to bed on time, things like this, eating at certain times of the day, eating breakfast. These are good habits. Perhaps having a walk, doing some fitness, something, those kind of things, they're good habits. Now, what you need to think of is when you do these things, how often you do them, and what you associate them with. So, for example, do you have your workout when you get up every day, or just before breakfast, or just after lunch, or something like that? You quite often associate things with something else that you do regularly, that you've done all your life. So translate that to work, and a good habit could be to not work so much, or to take time out, to take a break. So for instance, it's very easy at work to be busy and to just get someone to deliver a cup of coffee to you, and then not go anywhere and just work all day. And then you've got your lunch there, you sit there at your desk and your computer's in front of you, so you're just going to continue to do that. So to get up and go away from your desk and go for a walk. So for instance, you might try and develop the habit of at the time of your first cup of coffee, as soon as you've had that cup of coffee, you will get up and you will go for a 20-minute walk. Or you'll take yourself away from your desk for a number of minutes and associate it with something. And the other ones is, we talk about dieting and things, and we usually talk about that at home, but quite often at work, our food habits and our drinking habits are not so good. And I'm not going to teach you what you should be doing, but if you are drinking 20 cups of coffee a day, perhaps you might want to cut that down. Perhaps you might want to replace every other one, or the ones in the afternoon, with either decaf or something else. Or perhaps you might want to try and drink more water. And there may be biscuits, cookies, snack food, easily grabbed. Stop doing things like that. Try and remember the habits you have at home and apply them at work. But there are other things you can do. You can develop habits. So for example, you should be engaging with your audience and with your following on social media. So if you use Twitter, perhaps that morning, the first thing you do when you get in is, as soon as you've ready and turned on your thing, is you contact 5 people on Twitter. Or perhaps after lunch, as soon as you sit back at your chair after lunch, perhaps you will do something such as, phone a past customer or a top customer and ask them a number of questions, because questioning people, asking them, is fantastic for knowing more about your customers. It engages with them, shows them their value, but it also teaches you a lot. So make that a habit. Rather than think, I haven't got time, do that at a time of the day, every day or every other day at a fixed point. Also, block out time. If your daughter said, Dad or Mum, can you pick me up from school at lunchtime and take me to so-and-so sport, we've got this event and they need parents to come and take us along. And quite often you'll say yes. Now, if anyone, you'll say yes and that's it, you're doing it, okay? So if anyone contacted you for work, you say, I can't because I'm taking my daughter to a sporting event and I won't be in for the rest of the day. So try blocking out other times for doing things that take you away from the daily grind of work. Remember, that works. You can't do something else because you've got that commitment. Now at work, you might only associate an appointment with a client coming in, or you've got to go out, or you've got to do or you've got a meeting. You might only think of those as the type of things that you can block out as appointments. But you can make an appointment with yourself to go for a walk. You can make an appointment with yourself to go and work in a coffee shop for a morning instead of sitting in the same old place, say at home or working from your office. You can make an appointment with yourself to block out time to phone some clients or to do some outgoing calls for whatever reason. So don't forget, block out time. It works, my friend. It really does. There's all sorts of things, but think of the way you develop habits at home that are the good habits. Yes. Think of the way you do them. Think of the way they associate with doing something else. What makes them regular? You floss your teeth because you've just brushed your teeth. You change the sheets, change the bedding every Sunday. You always go down the betting shop on a Saturday afternoon for the horses. I don't know. But there will be things that you regularly do. Then try and think of new habits you want to develop at work, like sending out an email, creating a new video like we talked about yesterday, doing some social media, contacting a client, like I said, to find out more information about clients and client personas and customer profiling and things like that, and associate them with something that's regular, and then make an appointment with yourself until it becomes a habit. This does work. I don't make this stuff up. And by the way, if you want to know more about forming habits, I recommend that, I can't remember, I've talked about this before quite often, but if you look up, there's a gentleman by the name of BJ Fogg, F-O-G-G. He is from Stanford University. If you just look up, I doubt that there are going to be many people who are going to call themselves BJ Fogg. So just Google that name and you will find he has extremely impressive studies on habits and how to develop habits in a good way, by the way, and good habits. Anyway, it is Tuesday. It's a toolbox tip and we're going back for some old ones, but good ones, golden oldies. This today is Skype. We forget about Skype. Skype is free. And Skype in the old days, if you used Skype in the early days and it was horrible and it didn't work very well, Skype works brilliantly now. I record all my interviews and I'm generally chatting for an hour. I record them all with Skype. Now for me, of course, some people have a less, not such a good connection, but it works for me. If you listen, they're good quality and it hasn't cut out. It's good. I do them on audio, but you can do video chats on Skype. You can have, you can talk to clients on Skype. Don't forget, you can talk to people overseas for free. You can do it by audio only or by video. Imagine if you contacted a customer, if you say, well, I can't get to you, and said, because I can't get to you for a while, maybe I can't drive, just had an operation. Can you do Skype? And they go, oh yeah, I do Skype all the time. Imagine how easy it would be if you could chat on video with your customers by Skype without having to drive to visit them all. Anyway, just a thought. Tomorrow is our expert interview series. You are going to love it. So make sure you're there. It's slightly longer than this. It has a lesson to learn. You'll enjoy it, and I'd love to know what you think afterwards. See See you soon.